Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Iron Panther Presents. It is Chris and I's pleasure to discuss the new Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan collabo Sinners, which is in theaters this weekend. It is an outstanding movie, and my wife and I went to go see it today. So Chris and I are going to talk about how much we love this movie. What does it mean for all the different genres they kind of put together? And is there Oscar? There's Oscar in the buzz for Mr. Michael or Ryan, possibly. We hope so. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. You can like on the video, comment on the video, you can share the video, you can watch the video till the end. Jamani's not joining us because he stopped at the snakes. Apparently that's a thing for him. So you can do all that. We got past the snakes, so that's why we're here. There's only one snake, really, so this doesn't even make any sense. Anyway, let's do the intro. All right, let's do that. Oh, wait. I got to do it now. Wait. This is gonna be funny. Wait. You ready? Wait. I got to do it.
This is awesome. This is amazing. I love it.
It was psychological. It was emotional.
Extremely entertaining.
But as always, as we try to say here, as we said, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And as we talk about this video, please like on the video and comment on the video, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Yes, we got Michael and Ryan together, and I was like, "This is not Creed 4." All right, well let's see what this got. Let's see what we're doing together.
It's not black.
And he's not back as that's still up there. It's still pop. This made me feel like Disney should look at this. Kevin Feige should look at these two guys and say, Blade, give it to me. Reboot it. It'll be fine. I feel they did it. They did a black-led vampire movie and didn't fuck it up. And I'm like, I feel like Kevin should listen.
I thought you meant like having them do a Blade. I thought that's what you meant.
Yes. Like Michael B. Jordan be Blade. Yes. Think about it, Chris. Like Ryan gave him Black Panther 1 and 2 successes, right? He's gonna be like, you know how to do black stuff, right? Michael's already dead. Like, he can't be Killmonger. Like, he's already dead. So I'm like, the last one completely failed. So I'm like, bring these two guys together and make Blade. And I'm like, Michael B. Jordan could be Blade.
There's a case. See, unfortunately, with Blade, because of Wesley Snipes' standard, there is a cadence you have to have as far as your voice and delivery. And the irony is the only other person other than Mahershala Ali, there was one, I could see his face, but I can't think of his name. But Michael B. Jordan is not that. He is good for a lot of superheroes. I just don't see that as Blade. I can see him as Bishop. I can definitely see him as Bishop. Hell, I can even see him in maybe Spawn. I don't see Blade. I just don't.
So we will say what you're doing. You're not talking about same thing with Wolverine, right? Like, it's not comic book Wolverine, it's Hugh Jackman. That's the standard. So you're trying to redo Hugh Jackman.
Unfortunately, that's kind of how it is though now when it comes to even what Marvel's kind of doing as far as giving people what they want. And people don't play. There's certain characters they don't play with. Unfortunately, because Hugh Jackman and Wesley Snipes, and I guess arguably I would say maybe Ryan Reynolds, those three, as far as what they did for their superhero roles. Good luck to whoever, even if someone as big as Henry Cavill. I know people are like, oh, Henry Cavill in Doomsday or Secret Wars or whatever. Even as great of an actor he is, even killing it as Superman. I know a lot of people get a little iffy about him as Superman or whatever. Even as I think it was great what he did with that. Nope.
No, but again, I'm sorry.
It's just scary. That's all.
It's a different video. I'm sorry. Let's talk about Sinners. Well, we do got one. Yeah. I went into this movie without knowing too much about it and enhanced the experience. This was a good movie.
Same here. I went in with no idea of any. By the way, we're doing spoilers if you haven't figured it out or have never watched the Iron Panther Presents movie review ever. You know what I mean? So there's definitely gonna be spoilers. But no, the only trailer I saw, and I kind of wanted to keep it that way, was the Super Bowl trailer. It was a Super Bowl trailer where you didn't see a whole lot. You just saw people dancing. You saw that Michael B. Jordan were twins, and he makes a little joke to this white dude and say, "Nah, we cousins. Like, y'all twins or something, y'all." And then all of a sudden you see the homie
That
from
Tommy
King.
gun scene was awesome. Like to see
Yeah.
the gun, like I was like, what is
What
this?
the
Like I
hell
was like,
is it?
what is this? I was
Yeah, and
like,
I just saw the dude, the homie, this white dude with the little banjo, who I recognize from this UK show called Skins or whatnot. I was like, oh shit, Jack, Jack O'Ryan. I mean, Jack O'Connell. Sorry, Jack O'Connell is in this, and I just straight up was like, oh, something about demons or something. I just figured it was demons, especially seeing how it was daylight and he was shooting a Tommy gun.
right,
So I was
right,
like, oh, so I just knew they were demons, and I
or
saw
zombies or
place,
some shit or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no expectation. I mean, I had some high expectations. He was Ryan Coogler. So, but yeah, man. So I don't know. I mean, who you want me to go first as far as?
Yeah. Also, I get walking in. So I knew Terry as my wife does. Like she anything she's interested, she'll like research the shit out of it. So she was looking at reviews and that kind of thing. So I mean I knew vampires were a part of the thing. Like I knew that going into it. So I was like, okay, we're fighting vampires. And then I heard the clan was gonna be in it, and I'm like, all right, let's see what this is gonna be about.
Yeah.
And then so I was like clan and vampires, and I'm like, is Michael fighting the clan and the vampires, or the vampires help him fight the clan, or what? How does this all come together? So I was a little confused going in. But it was just absolutely incredible. Like the music was awesome. Like the history integration was awesome. Like it it gave me like From Dusk Till Dawn, I think is the general framework to me, with like some Django in it, some like Gladiator in it, like and then the whole musical thing.
I was looking at Lovecraft Country. That's what I was looking at. I was like, Lovecraft Country is definitely in it. I mean, obviously, yeah, Dusk Till Dawn is like obviously number one. Matter of fact, every review it's kind of like what review? I mean, what movie did we review where everyone pretty much said, oh, just one of these days, and everyone was like, oh, Friday. That
Yeah,
everyone's gonna
well,
say Dusk Till Dawn.
and I was like, and again, that was people told me, and then like yeah, so I walked in and I was like, okay, the airplane heist movie, people were like Die Hard, Die Hard. I was like, all right, I was like, just like Die Hard 2. But anyway, Jamani's here in the comments. Hello, Jamani. Chicago was represented in this movie, so peace and love from Chicago. To an extent, it actually ended in
Well,
Chicago.
it wasn't very positive the way they kind of talked about the Chicago. They was like, oh, ain't nothing different from Mississippi, just more buildings, and it just
Well,
more.
it is the 30s, Chris. So like
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, but like they shout out Chicago, but it wasn't really a shout. That's my point. It's not like it's like, hey, what's up to Chicago? It's not like they play Chicago music, so I don't know why people are acting like. I'm just saying.
yeah,
But
but then we have to From Dusk Till Dawn meets Lovecraft Country.
Yep, Lovecraft, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. All right. I mean,
Yeah.
yes. Lovecraft Country was there. They
Oh,
was
and
right.
also 30 Days a Night. 30 Days a Night is another one. The Alaska, where it's like they have to
Really?
survive. Yeah, 30 Days a Night. Also, the vampires in Alaska or whatnot.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
All right. Okay.
yeah, but basically any vampire
Hello.
movie where they have to wait till daylight. That's pretty much, which is a lot of
Yeah, that's
vampire
basic.
movies.
Almost every vampire movie. I mean, like it's yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, that's because they
Or
can't walk
werewolves,
around.
or if y'all saw
Nah,
that
no,
there was a horrible movie that came out just a few months ago. I waited till I could watch it on streaming, called Werewolves. Same thing. It's like, oh, we got to survive the night. We got to survive the night.
Is that the one
And
where like we're getting off track? Look, like we are getting off track. So Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Coogler.
Hello, Nikki. Thank you for hanging out with us. It was decent. I needed more connection with the music lore. So
Go ahead.
well, so it was awesome to see the music and like even the different cultures like kind of being represented. Like, and I can understand the juke joint piece of it. Like, again, there, it's a party club, and Ryan wanted to show that, you represent the people that came before you, and the people are going to come after you, and Black and African American culture kind of all blend together. And he wanted to show that in this one very artsy scene. Even the Chinese couple had the one. I thought that was Japanese, actually. I didn't know any better. But like the one Japanese woman kind of dancing around for some representation. And then like I guess Mary being white, she didn't get no representation except for like the Irish vampires outside. And that was awesome and hilarious for them to be like, they just randomly had instruments and they're like, hey, let's just play a song. And they were like in perfect harmony. And I'm like, I just turned you like 2 hours ago. But like we
Right.
got instruments and we got this whole like choreographer dance going on. And then it was just chaos. But I was
Yeah.
like, it's awesome. Like
That
I
was
was
so
like,
different. That was a different movie. I kind of echo what you were saying earlier. This movie had a lot of cinematic value to it, to the point where this movie was kind of deserved to see in theaters. You know what I mean? Or on the big screen with great audio, great audio quality and everything to it. So, yeah, I mean, no, I agree that scene, the scene where it's like when Sammy is playing and you saw literally like the past, present, and future of music out there, and everything from the '70s to the DJ scratching. I looked at that scene. I was like, okay, this is why cinema is important. It was such a risky thing to do, because there was a way you could have messed that up and made it look so like out of place, but it wasn't. It was perfect somehow, and I was like, okay, Ryan. I was like, Ryan, dude. I was like, you deserve to be here. Like if no one even knew that you didn't even deserve to be here after making Fruitvale Station back in the day, again with Michael B. Jordan as well. You know what I mean? Like,
when Ryan
like
eats, Michael eats.
yeah,
Like,
pretty much. This is literally it's like Martin Scorsese and Leo. It's Leo and Martin
yeah,
Scorsese. It's the
yeah, yeah,
black version. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So if Ryan's involved, Michael's going to be there. Killmonger was dead, and then even in Black Panther, Wakanda, bring him back.
Like, we gotta bring him back. Like, but I'm dead. He's like, but are you though? It's like but I write the pen. So I say
Yeah,
when you come back.
the only critique, and I don't know if it's necessarily a critique necessarily, but just wanted to have more of. I think it was what someone maybe, I don't know if they were talking about this, was when it came to Remick, the vampire, the old centuries old vampire. I wanted, I don't know, now I want a prequel on just him. I want to know more of the
So,
Irish thing.
like, how did he? But anyway, hold on. We
Yeah,
gotta,
I want
let's
that.
focus on
I
the
want that, but
positive.
it's not a
It's not.
negative. It's
It
just
gives you
and the
more
movie
to
was like already
write
2 hours
into.
and 15 minutes long. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, no, okay. So I know. Okay, hold up. I understand the music lore perfectly. It gets deep for real. So to your point of, to me, that could have been a whole different movie with Sammy really being the lead of the movie. Really, it's all about his progression and how he ultimately became a like a blues jazz performer and that kind of thing. This whole movie could have been sharecropper slash preacher's son, struggling to be the find his voice, struggling to be an artist, and then he does it. Like, he realizes that his music is generational, before him and after him, and then in the future he becomes the artist he always wants to be. That could
Yeah.
have been the movie, and then that would have
Mhm.
made 100% sense, right? But it's like, it's from dusk till dawn. Like, what are we doing
Right.
right now? But it's good for a moment, and then we got to get back to like the vampires, because when the whole like barn like
Yeah.
burned down, and they're still dancing and going along, I actually thought that's what Remick was gonna do. That he was gonna be like, I can't come in, but if I burn this fucker down, y'all coming out. So like, if I'm trying to get to Sammy, it's not that hard. Like there's options. So I actually thought that was gonna happen, and I didn't realize that was just for cinematic value, right?
Yeah.
Like, I guess they like burned the house down with the music and everything. But that was awesome. And then when they actually went
Yeah.
outside and the vampires were dancing outside, it looked like the water dancing. That shit was hilarious.
They were doing like Irish jigs and all that other
Yes.
stuff. It
I was
was
like,
that was amazing, and that was like had some interesting social commentary to that too. So which is um, just the whole idea of being with us. It's like, oh, you don't have to be with the racists, or you don't have to be with the Klan. You can join with us, and it's like just asking a question like, will you really be part? Like, you know what I mean? Will you really be free? You know what I mean? And yeah, that was, I thought even that scene was, I thought, was incredible. It was uncomfortable and incredible, because you saw white people and then black sharecroppers all dancing and all singing to this Irish song, and I'm just like, oh, this is really creepy. I was like, but awesome at the same time.
well, I
So
mean, so what?
yeah,
But they were all on one accord, but I liked his message
right,
that
because
in
it was a
19,
hive mind. It's a whole hive mind
right,
of
it
what.
was right. It's
Yeah,
like in 1932, he's like, look, bro, like, if you I'm just trying to bring everybody together, right? And he's like,
yeah,
and like even his brother, so that would have been Stax, was like, yeah, bro, I'm just come on
yeah,
out here and be with us. And I was like, it's like, wait a minute, this this could be a
Yeah.
thing, right? I saw more black music throughout the generations, but not how it connected to the vampire. Yeah. It really didn't. Like it was a great show, but like the ultimate vampire story, not really. But
Yeah.
but everybody got their moment. Like the
I
Irish
don't.
people got
I
their.
think the idea. I think the message about the whole thing about music was how music, and is real. Music is transformative. It can. You hear people say it as a joke, but it's realistic, saying like, "Hey, I can't listen to hard rock while I'm driving, or gangster rap while I'm driving because it puts you in the mood, right?" Or like I'm at home and I'm not having the best day in the world, and I put on some Sade or something. Music music is the one thing as far as entertainment that literally really affects our lives, and and it transforms you to the fact that you go to the gym, you have to have headsets, and you listen to
They
something to
get
get
you.
in the zone. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got a little workout, little pre-workout or whatever in your hand, but it's the music
yeah.
that gets you to do two more pumps or whatnot.
Dun, dun,
And what
dun.
it was trying to say, I think what the movie was trying to say was, especially with this whole the hoodoo legend and stuff, was just that sometimes certain people are so gifted that even the evil, it even attracts even those who should not be here. You know what I mean? And that's where like sometimes you hear, especially you gotta, especially people who have black family, older folks, grandparents, whatever, from the deep south, like I had, who used to always say stuff like saying like, "Hey, you be careful with that music. That music, the whole idea of like you let the devil win and whatnot."
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen that with with the whole idea of wanting to be a great musician, and then they meet the devil on the Fort Road or whatever, and to make a deal, the devil goes down to Georgia. All of that stuff. It plays perfectly to that with the whole lore of what music is supposed to do. You know what I mean?
So let's real quick. Nikki, you were absolutely. I got yeah. Stacks was already inside, so when he turned, but he ran out. Why? This is
Oh,
yes,
because he had, yeah. I think, well, I guess because he, what's her name? Annie put some. I guess that's why they try to make it where Annie threw garlic, or garlic
yeah. So
water,
he
or
had
whatever
to
that
run
was.
out.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I agree with you. That was a plot hole. And then I was like, because the door was closed, I thought maybe his vampire self couldn't leave the room because even going through the door is almost like entering another. They were trying to work with it. I agree with you that was a little bit like they really didn't get into all that. Acting, yeah, was absolutely amazing. Like everybody was on point. Like like one
Michael
character's
B.
actor.
Jordan. Michael B. Jordan, no joke. After a while, I truly he was so good in this, even to the fact that like it literally at one point looked like there was two different actors playing the brothers. You know what I mean? That's how good they put it. Yes, they did the whole like one was wearing red. Stacks was wearing red, and Smoke was wearing blue. And I didn't realize it when I saw the poster the first time, but then when I walked out the theater, we looking at the poster. There was a poster, not the one that's in your background, but there's another poster that I saw, and it showed the two brothers, and Smoke is looking upwards. And it's the blue, right? He's looking upwards, and Stacks is looking down, and you don't see his eyes, and he has this like weird looking smile, and
Oh,
you see the
oh,
red, and he has like the
oh.
little toothpick, or whatever, out, and I was like, oh shit! It was kind of like it told you nothing about the movie, but it told you what the movie was going to happen in the movie.
Well, that
I was
was
like,
also in
oh
the
wow!
trailer.
I was
It
like, I
was
was like, I
also
was
in the
like, all right,
trailer
that's a
that he
good job.
turned because there was a part where he's banging his head, and again, I thought he was outside trying to get inside. The music spoke to Remick. But what was he going to do? So you're right. That's not explained. Like
Oh, that was he said the music. He said the music. What they were trying to say in the beginning was apparently his music was so good it was to hopefully bring the other undead to him. And what I think he was trying to do was bite him, so then he has his memories and whatnot, and be able to sing and do all that stuff. To sing just like him, or to
but
use
we
him for that.
but we should not be guessing. like for
No, no,
Sammy to
not a guess. He literally
no,
said
he
that.
said like to your I took it. Yes, I took it as though he needed him to be him so he could play. So then, like again, like he would call the other vampires or whatever, like to there, not so Remy could play, but for Sammy could play. So he would be the musician. He would join their band, and then like he would like
No,
bring
he
them
said he's
together.
trying to get his people back. He said he was trying to get his people back. Remick said he wants to get his people back.
And again, he needed. I took it as you are the player, you are the artist. So I need you to join, like I need you to be a vampire and join me like everybody else, be part of the hive mind. But he would be the musician.
No, dude, that's not what he was saying. No, he was talking about his own vampire team, like the other people who's been dead for hundreds of years, not the people
Yes.
he just turned. I'm talking about forget the people he just turned in the movie. He's talking
Yes,
about
Chris.
the old school folks. He's saying the only way to get them and to attract them is to have Sammy play this beautiful music, as in like it's going to be a beacon call.
Yes,
to them.
we're saying the
Yeah.
same thing. We're saying the same thing, Chris. Like he would play
Oh,
to get like the ancestors, like the people from the old country. Like I heard him when he said that. I mean,
but then you're saying it's a guessing thing, but he literally said it.
I'm again, was it like, because why him? Like, was he one in a generation? Like why? Because like they were so focused on one, he turned everybody, right? Like
Yeah.
even him coming here was confusing. Like the Native Americans were chasing him in the daytime, and he was by himself. So
Right.
so I'm like, how
The
did we get to this moment that he's like, they know about him, but the Native Americans never show back up. And then I'm like, he's constantly turning people, so he should have had a crew. Like if he attack the Native American place first, and they chased them
No,
to this
and that's
part
why I
of
wanted
town?
a prequel on him. I wanted a prequel on just Remy himself. I think that would have been an awesome prequel to lead up to him being chased. Who knows? Maybe he did transform 6 of them, but because the natives were on their asses, they staked 3 or 4 of them. The rest, the son got him. But then obviously he's what, almost 600 years old or whatever,
Where'd
and
you get that
and
from?
just vampire. Well, no, because he said there was a line he said talking about something centuries. He said for centuries I've been in here. And then he says, "Let me tell you about an old song." And then he went in talking about a song that he remembers being played for the first. You know what I mean? It was like a centuries old song that he brought up. So that's how
I
we knew
remember.
he's several hundred years old. And I guess the rest, they just want you to. I guess it's implying that you already know the vampire lore and know the older you are as far as the vampire goes. Then like obviously that means you could probably fly. The ones who are older can fly. They're stronger, and then they can survive in the sun much longer than everyone else.
Because
Pretty much.
he lit.
You
So
know?
like it was a lot of. It's almost like you have to know like again vampire lore to get some of this stuff. But it's like,
Yeah, sure.
but
Yeah.
again, which version? We talked about this with Let the Right One In. What vampire rules are you going by? Because
Wait.
it's
Which are you talking about the show or
the
the
show,
movie?
when we were like crap. But
Oh,
I'm
that
just.
one.
But remember, we were
Well,
like,
no. That one. So the problem was okay. I'm so mad. Why'd you have to bring up the show, bro?
no, but
That show even defied what the original did. Okay, it didn't even
I
do
don't.
that correctly.
Okay. We could do a whole video on that. I was never confused about which. Actually, I was. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, were you?
If it wasn't for the girlfriends, I would be like, oh, I don't know. I was just seeing Michael B. Jordan. But anyway, I want to talk about the relationships because Smoke and Annie, I loved as short as it was. I love
Mhm.
the idea that their end kind of reminded me of like Gladiator, with like Annie's already he had to kill Annie because she turned, and you knew that was gonna happen. But after he kills all the KKK members and
Mhm.
he's shot, and then he sits down and like he looks over and there's Annie with the baby, and he's trying like to go to the other side. Like it was just Maximus in my head at that point. And then like
And it
he
was kind
has
of
to
like he wanted to die too, because did you see what he did beforehand?
mm,
Before when he was getting the guns, he took his necklace off. He
yeah
took the necklace off. Yeah,
yeah
he took that. He took that off, and it was like as if he knew, like he was like he didn't want no more protection. It was kind of like he wanted to join his family.
yeah
Essentially,
yeah.
he's like, I lost my. Well, I mean, I guess I lost my brother in the sense of like in this life, at least. What I mean, I lost my brother. I lost literally like my love. And my daughter is dead. I want. This is if anything, I just want to now just get revenge on these white crackers, as he pretty much was thinking. What I mean, and just to get take them and take these downs on the final. If this is the last thing I ever do. And so yeah.
But I did like that, and then like he had to come back. He killed the last guy, right? And then
Yeah.
like I guess like he just went off with his family, right? So like he and his family get to be together forever, and I like that moment. And then comparatively, Stax and Mary are together forever, but they're just vampires, right? And I was like, this could be a whole part. Like I want that could have been a part, not necessarily a shown part 2,
Mhm.
but like maybe Sammy since then, like he plays music and he hunts vampires because he's like, I know you fuckers exist, and I'm like, and I wanted that kind of like
You
grim,
want you wanted it.
like I've been chasing your ass like for 25 years.
I mean, you wanted that. I wanted Stacks and Mary to like try to find a coven. They run into a theater group over in Paris and whatnot, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Sure, Mary, you can do it, but you got to play the little girl." And he's like, "Oh, f this shit." He's like, it's, and they run
Like,
into-
hey, it's like Louis. What's up, Louis? Like, I
What's
wanted,
going
you
on?
know what I wanted? Actually, I wanted them to establish a record label. It was 1992. I wanted them to establish a record label because they look like they're hip hop fans and be like, hey, we're gonna move to Queens. And we got this
Yeah.
guy named Famous out there and Lou, and just be like, Kane and the crew joined them. I wanted that to be a thing. But I look,
Stacks is Breeze, bro.
that's so think about it. Think about it. Like, but no. The even their love story made sense. He was like, every day I think about you, but this is not the time. We cannot be together in this time. But they lived long enough to where she can walk around with the big old earrings and they're happy. And him to be like, my last moment was with my brother with the sun going down.
Yeah.
And he remembered that. I wanted him to wake up the next morning, he and his new vampire bride, and they take Smoke's body and they put it with her mom. Because this whole thing, like, oh, my mom raised you, and what about my mom? They brought her up like 4 or 5 times. I'm like, well, let's.
Yeah.
And she was mad that they never came for her funeral, right? So it would have been awesome to be like, we are remembering our human family while we go on to our family and what this may be. Like it would have been, I would have liked that to some level. Even with Annie's body being there, because even Mary saw her as family.
Yeah.
They could have that would have been nice. That would have been nice. Just to kind of wrap that up.
How about the fact that for the first almost an hour of the movie, it just was just a normal drama, but it did not. It wasn't boring or whatnot. You were still invested in it, and then it does this little turn, right? But it's a subtle turn. There are movies where I'm trying to like Dust Till Dawn kind of did this, right? You brought up Dust Till Dawn. Dust Till Dawn, where it was just like a regular old world or whatever, and then all of a sudden you just switch or whatever.
2 bank robbers trying to make it to Mexico who kidnapped them.
Yeah. The difference was even when you see that now there's vampires in as well, it still kind of kept almost the same energy that you had in the first half as far as the drama element. But now like there's drama, but then there's also like, oh shit, run, nigga! Like don't let Cornbread in. Like Cornbread, why can't you come in? It's like why you can't come in? It's like it ain't nice. It ain't nice. I gotta ask permission. You know what I mean? Just all this other stuff. So so no, that's how you know you're dealing with a great filmmaker where you're dealing with a horror film, I don't know if I want to even call it horror. I would say a drama / horror is what this was. But the first half was just like a completely different movie. But you were okay with it. I would have been all right with just the movie that you had in the first 45 minutes and made it a 2-hour movie, right? I wanted you saw these badass like a smokestack, who used to work with Capone in Chicago or whatnot, and maybe just like another group of gangsters or whatever try to come onto their property. That alone would have a movie with the twins just going against just some random old Joes and
no, the Irish and the Italians, just like Mary said. When they figure out that you robbed both sides and brought the alcohol down here, then they do figure out, and like the Capone's crew shows up or the Irish show up. Again, they show up together, and it's like one per brother. You know what I'm saying? Like that could have been the showdown that night. And then that could have been the movie. Like you said, it was you had the Sammy's music career movie. You had the Prohibition story, the black men who tried to make it through Prohibition story. And then you got a vampire story, like a guy, just somebody trying to build a family, I guess, and and ran across the wrong brothers or something. And got a guitar in the head. Smoke always smoked. Stack had a grill. Did you notice how the grill changed with his fangs? I thought that was awesome.
It changed no, because the grill was on the tooth that was not a fang. It was
No,
next
no,
to it.
no. It ain't, bro. I'm telling you, like
Then they messed up in the post credit scene because in the post credit scene, because that's where I really noticed it. It was like a fang, and then he really was smiling at Sammy for the longest time when he said, "Hey, can you play me a song?"
yeah,
Like you did back in the day, and it was right next to your point. I probably wasn't paying that much attention early on, like in the 1930s version when he
yeah,
was
yeah,
vampire.
yeah.
So but I don't know. Maybe they realized that or I don't. Maybe they realized that maybe they filmed the post credit first, and they
Maybe
forgot.
but
I don't know.
it was very, to me, it looked very distinct, that it kind of like maybe bent with the two, but it like one of the fangs had a grill on, like grill like thing on, and I was like, what? And I was like,
Yeah.
how did they pull that one off? Sunshine, sunlight, Proof Records.
So like,
I love it. I love it.
yeah.
They only recruit at night. So like, but like again, what are y'all doing for
No,
money?
you call it Steak and Stack records. Steak and Stack. Like
Stop.
just like
What we don't do is there ain't no wood around here. Ain't no wood going on. but I love, again, why did they come back all these years to find him? Again, if he was that voice of a generation, do
yeah.
they take on that need too, where it's like, you can help us bring the rest of the vampires together? Is it just them two walking the earth?
It seemed like for Remick that was just a personal need for himself. Straight up, I think what it was. I think what it was clear was these types of vampires, just like similar to what we see in the Interview with the Vampire. I don't want to use the word soul necessarily or whatever, but they do, even though they're now these monsters, they do still have a human side to them, unlike what you just have like in some of these other vampire things where they're just straight up just monsters. They don't give a shit, whatever. They
Right,
just have
right,
just the
right,
memories and that's it.
right.
um, I the fact that Stack listened to his brother and said, "Hey, promise me not to touch Sammy," because that's the thing. He's a freaking vampire, and your brother is dead. If he wanted to, he could have just been like, "Screw that! I'm gonna get Sammy now." But it
Yeah,
was like it was like an honor thing. It was like
yeah,
even
yeah.
in death, he was like he respected it, and it wasn't until it was like for him, it was like, okay, I'm gonna wait till he's. It wasn't until like I guess old age when he's like, oh, shit, now he's about to die. That's when they like just approach him and say, hey, yo, like you could live forever now. You know what I mean? And it was just more of like at that point, it wasn't like, hey, that was not for hey, we want to get the rest of the vampires back. That was Remick's goal, right? His goal him and Mary's goal was like more of like, hey, look, we like your family and whatnot. We
We
it's
miss
just
you. Like,
and we
you're the
miss
only
you and
one
it's the
alive
end of
that
your life.
still
Yeah,
remembers,
right.
what was like.
You know,
Um,
yeah. So
but it was again, that's a whole story. Again, if Sammy, I felt like, again, Native Americans were kind of unnecessary because they really didn't do anything. But like, if they would have came back and maybe helped at the end,
right.
or again helped like Sammy, like met up with them, like he was doing vampire hunting, that would be a thing. Let's
They,
talk
they
about
always
this.
they always had to have Native Americans in supernatural horror films. Don't you notice that? Anytime, like for example, was it Poltergeist? Was it Poltergeist? I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
first
yeah.
did it.
It was
Poltergeist, and it was like on native land and whatnot. And
it was
then
Native land.
Pet Cemetery. Pet Cemetery was an old Native American burial. And then not on then on top of that was it American Werewolf and was it in no, it was
Probably
American
Paris, not
Werewolf in
London.
Paris,
That's
and
the
then there was
original.
some up the native people that was over there or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, you got to kill. It's I just say, oh, not only that, Stephen King's It, the part two. Do you see Stephen King's part two? Whatever.
So
Natives knew about this alien coming down and whatnot, and who turned himself to a clown or whatnot. Anytime there's a supernatural entity that's killing people,
especially
oh,
American.
natives know all
They're
about this shit.
So I'm saying, so to the point, they should have played a bigger role to even explain the history of Remick. Like, that's usually what happens, right? Somehow they make it into the barn, and it's like, this is the one who's killed our people for centuries. Da 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 da. Like they kind of give you the backstory we don't have. I want to talk about, yes, I appreciate the woman saying, "Let me clean up before before you get something to eat." But that being said, I want to point out there was a lot of crotch licking in this movie. There was a lot of dialogue about it, actions toward it. I was like, Ryan Coogler, I hear you, bro. I hear you. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, man, lick that peach. I was like, okay, Ryan. I was, I don't know. And it was like crotch grabbing. I didn't expect to see that coming. Coming. So for like Annie to rub Smoke's crack like crotch, and like they wanted to make sure that you want you to know that was really his crotch. Like they just kept on, that shot didn't stop. Like they kept on going up. I was like, I would have been like, take 5. Why? I don't know. Maybe we got the line wrong. Let's just try this again. I don't know. I'm not feeling it, if you will. But I was like, it was serious. But I mean,
yeah, they got married. I was like, that bugged me because I recognized her, and then it wasn't until like towards the end I was like, she's the mayor. That's the mayor from Gotham. In the last Batman movie, the young black mayor in Gotham, and the Batman.
Oh,
she was also in Penguin too. She was also in Penguin.
Yeah, that'd be better. Who? Oh, you talking about Perlene?
I'm talking about the married wife who got down by.
Oh, my bad. I was like, what happened? There's people who had families that they never even addressed. So
I kept saying to myself, I'm like, is the story going to be the next day that the Klan kind of killed like Cornbread? So now his pregnant wife is just going to be like, where my husband at? Or
right?
Whatever, you know what I mean?
Like Cornbread has a pregnant wife and another kid. Grace, who should have got thrown outside immediately when she's like, you can shut the fuck up because we're trying to stay alive. Like I'm like, her daughter is a orphan right now. Like there's people who have no families and none of this gets addressed. Like I'm like, why did you give these people backstories and families that we saw, and then to be like, did y'all? Yes, I did. Vamp Stacks was pissed when Smoked off Annie.
Yeah. No, he was pissed off because in his mind he thought that would be the easiest way to get to get Smoke to turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he saw his girl was turn, boom, that's it. But damn, if she's dead, like what else? Literally, what is there else?
What's my leverage? What's my leverage right now?
Yeah.
But
took it away from him.
But like as we said, the different versions of vampires, these were just people that you knew who are no longer alive. Like he's like, I have my memories. I am talking to my brother. Thank you. And that's why like he couldn't kill him. He was like, this is my brother. You know what I'm saying? And it's again from dusk till dawn type of situation. You know what I'm saying? But it's like he was like, you're my brother. Just get up out of here. Take Mary and live your life. I guess whatever that means. But I can't kill you right now. But you can't be stuck around here. And I thought that was interesting to humanize the beasts.
Yeah, and not only that, there's something kind of interesting too that I just now realized is right now is that even when they were, I mean, I guess the little context they gave about both of them as kids, and the fact that Stack kept getting beaten up by their dad or whatnot, and Smoke was always the one that always has to protect his brother. You know what I mean? Like even when they went up to Chicago and whatnot, even at the end, he still did that in a sense. I mean, protect him in the sense of like he couldn't even put a stake through him. He was like, he still wanted him to live. Like that, use that word loosely, live, but you know what I mean? He wanted to, it was kind of like, and I think it seemed like even though he was wearing that little charm around his necklace and you saw the fact that Stack kind of stopped himself from biting his brother, it still made me think like, damn, would he have like maybe still wanted to maybe not want to bite his brother? No, he probably not. He would probably think he would just live forever in immortality. Maybe not. But but you saw that he had respect for his brother enough for him to leave Sammy the hell alone. You know what I mean? To not mess with him after all those years. You know what I mean? So for 60 years. My other question is, if someone is like drinking with Sammy, even when he's like 40, 50 years old, and someone just drinking is like, yo, what's that story with the scar on your face? What do you think? What do you think he tells him? What do you think his story is? He probably comes up. Is he going to give him the Heath Ledger Joker thing? It's like, my dad was a violent man. And like,
you know what? That should have been the scene. 1992. He's at the bar. Bartender's like, Sammy, after all these years, how'd you get those scars? And he starts to, let me tell you about the juke joint I was in, and then Stacks and Mary walk in, and it's like, I get back to you on that. Like that would have been, but you're right. That would have been because
Yeah.
this is too obvious. Like
Right.
someone's
Right.
asking you, bro. And if you're that kind of famous, everyone's asking you, like, how
Yeah.
did you get
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
And it's like you would think,
Knowing him, he would be like, look, all he would have to say is like, look, I grew up as a sharecropper in Mississippi in the 1930s. People are like, oh, enough said.
you know
And
what I'm
that's
saying?
it. That's it. People would have
It's like
understood.
that
People
should answer all your questions.
That's it.
Yes,
That's
blacks,
it.
Asian, Irish, and Native Americans were all lowest demographics during this time. They needed to flush that out. They did a good job of showing the different aspects how Asians were able to, like, cross the boundary, like going back and forth about that. And then how they all kind of came together. But again, it was definitely more. I like the Irish where he's like, we've been oppressed too. Like, let me tell you how my father, he's got his land took. Like, that would have been an interesting way if they would have let him use that and to be like, come here. Like, we're saying, bro, like, don't let this fool you. Like, I know what it's like to be oppressed. And it's like, what? And then, like, could he convince like Stacks or Smoke to be like, yeah, the spit.
Oh.
They needed to explain this. Like the slobbering that they did.
Oh.
And then
I think because they were just hungry. I guess it was just more of like,
you need to explain this, because when Mary spit and Stacks, no, when Mary spit and Stacks
asked though. He asked. He basically was like, he opened up wide. Like,
what?
that's
I'm
just
like,
a weird. David, believe it or not, it's gonna sound. I don't. Okay.
Chris,
That's sometimes is a turn on, especially when you in a sex. If you doing some sexual. I'm just saying.
Look, we've already established that it was a vampire thing. Like Remick had the slobbering thing, so I get that. My point is, I thought it was gonna be like the strain, where like this, like that's what turned them. Like, it was in the saliva. That's what I thought.
It was just more of like they were just, well, not necessarily horny, but I guess it was just more like, hey, look, like, ooh, like I'm about to feed right now, and I'm like super hungry, and then their spit was just super thick. You know what I mean? And then Stack saw that. Stack saw that. Stack was like, I want
Hey
that.
girl, hey girl.
Stack was like,
You know what?
right here. He's like, right here. He's like,
You
he's
know
like,
what?
back in the day, we used to do golden showers. Now, just give me that way. Just give me. Just
When
give
she
me.
was like, you stuck your tongue in my hole and then you did me right and then you left me. I'm like, Ryan, I did, like, this is a lot of Ryan stuff going on, bro. Like, I get it. Chris, we see each other. Oh, there you go. I didn't know I needed the smoking Annie scene until I saw it. It was something. It was something. I was like, I thought those little kids were gonna come back. I was like, hilarious. I was like, but that didn't happen. But that didn't happen. I was like, somebody's gonna walk
You
in on
wanted
this.
the kids to come back? What are you talking about? You talking about the baby?
No, the kids with the fake money who was buying, like, they left. So Annie was selling some kind of
those kids.
herbs to those kids, and then her and Smoke got into it. And I thought I just would have been hilarious if the kids would have came back and be like, "Hey, we forgot." Never mind. And then they just walk off.
Yeah, that would have been awkward. Yeah. She didn't turn that little thing to clothes or anything. I don't even know she even had that. But yeah.
I don't know. I just be like, I don't know. But again, she made fried fish. You know what I'm saying? So, like, she's a woman of many talents. I was like, this was helpful. Where'd you get the big old thing of garlic from? Like, who just walked around with that? I was like,
if you practice in hoodoo, you do. I mean, obviously they try to make it convenient, so they had to throw in someone who wouldn't know all the lore about it. You know what I mean? Because this is 1932. What, the only thing that was probably made? What, Nosferatu was like a few years later. So practically no one knew about what the hell a vampire was at this point. So she probably wouldn't know because she's in hoodoo, or does hoodoo
adjacent.
And guys, by the way, I'm not saying it wrong. It's hoodoo. It's a little bit different from voodoo, everyone. Okay? All right. So I know people will be like, it's voodoo. No, voodoo is that evil dark magic stuff. Hers is more medicinal.
Herb stuff.
So it's hoodoo. Okay. Because I know people are going to say something. Anyway. But that's how she was.
But I like so Terry was like, do they not know what vampires are? And I was like, well, it depends on the movie, babe. Like, sometimes they act like they don't know this shit. So her to be like, vampire, because he can't come in, and then all of a sudden she knows the rules and shit. And then I'm like, okay, do they have reflections? Like, that wasn't necessarily established in this version. I thought eating the garlic would make them, like, their blood taste bad, and therefore, like, they would be sickened if someone bit them. I thought they were going to try to do that.
That's what I thought with Delroy Lindo. I thought when he drank that beer, I thought when he drank that beer or something, and then he slit his arm, I thought for a second, I thought like they were going to be feasting on him, and then it was like they were going to get poisoned or something.
Yes.
That's what I thought the route they were going to take.
Yes.
Especially that, you know,
And that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
Like I thought he was like eat a whole bunch of garlic, and then like the garlic's in the blood.
No,
so,
no,
like,
I guess the garlic was like the Thing. It was like a shout out to the Thing, John Carpenter's Thing. When you ever saw the Thing, John Carpenter, where it was like it was a body, it was basically a body shape. It was a shapeshifter alien. It was taking on people, and people would test the blood. And Kurt Russell's character, basically, they hated fire. Like the alien species hated fire, so they did a test, and then they said if this thing jumps, if your blood happens to jump, which is not normal, blood does not jump and move around, then you're a dead man. And then so they tested one by one. Keith David was one of them. Keith David, and then this random white dude. All of a sudden, the thing jump. So I think it seemed like Ryan Coogler just loves cinema, and you could see where he took like certain elements of certain movies in there. So yeah. Watch the Thing, you know exactly what I'm talking about, David. You know, right?
Also, I know I'm saying like it's been, I remember I saw the prequel like early.
No. Why? Why would you see that and not see the original? Because
I'm not saying I didn't see. It was like a long ass time ago, bro. Like it was like early '80s. Is what I'm saying. The brothers had different on colors. That's how I track it. I know I tried, but at some point I just gave up, and I was like,
their personalities are so different, David. Their personalities are so different.
I'm sorry. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. Hoodoo is pure. Okay, we're gonna do this hoodoo thing. Then we got the Irish beer had more of the connections.
Damn. The Irish beer.
So like, but again,
you know what? You know what? He's Irish. Why couldn't, like, as he's burning and then he's about to like die from steak, why couldn't he just been like, hey, just like that race, just like Michael B. Jordan said at the end, like, hey, you have a cigarette, and he got this last cigarette from that Klansman. How come Remick couldn't be like, hey, can I get the rest of that beer? he's like drinks. He's like, just like home, lassie.
But he was like real Irish, bro. Like I always had leprechaun feel coming out to him. Like that was like when he was dancing and shit. I was like, you know where leprechauns come from? They're actually little vampires. Like all that would have been hilarious. I was like, for some reason, like
this movie should have came out on St. Patrick's Day.
It did. That's what I'm saying. Like that's actually makes sense. And then Remick would have made more sense. And then like you would get more of him and like his backstory and that kind of shit. Like anyway, it just, as much as awesome as it was, I was like, I wanted more Remick to understand who he was, how he was, and how did he get here this time in this time in history. Like that
was my biggest. If I had any critique to give, that is the biggest one I had. I mean, obviously, my question isn't how you get the vampire first, because that no horror movie where you really ever get that. It's just straight up, hey, there's werewolves here, and then a werewolf bit someone, and now here's a chain reaction. Same thing with vampires. To your point, though, because I think Ryan Coogler, the problem with Remick, which is the irony of Coogler writing these characters so well and giving everyone such an interesting backstory, is that when you have a character like Remick and you start showing little glimpses of a story with him, people are going to want more. And that's what happened with him. If he was just straight up just this evil being who just shapeless being or whatever, who was just biting people, who was not doing Irish jigs, I would have probably been more okay with it. But the fact that Remick was, in a weird way, likable, especially towards the end, I'm like, I want to know more about this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was never rude. Like, he was always, trying to be amenable and everything. Like, he was like, hey, we can talk this thing through. Like, you're right. Like, it was so many things. And like, how did you get here? But like, what are you trying to achieve? But again, with this being, again, from dusk till dawn type of movie, you get one night, that's all you get. You're not getting the hunts for the vampire type of story, right? There's only so much they can put in there. So, is it dialogue, or is it that somehow Annie knew this creature? Like it's like his story has been written through the papers of the hoodoo or some shit. So then she could be like, oh, this is the one that people talk about, something like something. But it's got to be some type of dialogue, obviously. They can't show you that kind of stuff. But if they gave us something to ground him more, then you would understand. Because again, usually vampires kill people. Like, making is the exception to the rule. Like it's not, everyone does not become a vampire. Like, that doesn't make sense. This is the first time I've seen that, really. Where every bit person becomes a vampire. Like that's more like a virus, as opposed to Like, as opposed to, again, like you murder people and because they're food, and then every
Well,
once in a while you may make one.
yeah, no, and that's why I think it would be better to kind of get more of a glimpse on who Remick is, because from everything that he said and did, he made it seem like he did not want anyone to perish. Like, in a weird way, he kind of made it kind of please, like kind of like rational, as far as saying like, "Hey, you come on our side, you don't have to worry about." It's like, yo, this guy is the nephew of the dude that sold you that place, and their plan was to kill you bright and early in the morning. They're probably going to try to do that. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to come in white hood, but you come on our side, you don't have to worry about none of that. Like, you know what I mean? And actually, if you knew nothing about like vampire lore and you saw this and you just say he's like, huh? I was like, damn, that just means I won't ever see a sunrise again. But I can just live free at night and not have to worry about
Right,
nothing.
like,
Like, you're in the 1930s in Mississippi, I could see how you could possibly be like, yeah, let's do this.
do you
You know?
remember? Do you remember Fright Night? Since we're going back, you remember Fright Night?
Yes. Yeah, old school. Okay, yes.
Old school. And you remember how he got old boy's friend? He got Charlie's friend. Same thing. He was like,
Mhm.
bruh, like, you're pathetic. No one likes you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, join me and you could be somebody. And he was like,
Mhm.
yeah, okay,
Right.
okay.
Right.
Like, give me one black person that he was like, you don't want this shit. I mean, look at this life. You know, so
Right.
I can give you far better. You have a family. And your skin color doesn't matter. Your gender doesn't matter. Like, we're just one. Look at us. We're just one big happy family. And they're
Yeah.
like, yeah. And then one person walks outside. Like, it's like I'm. This is where I want to be. That would have been
Mhm.
awesome. That would have showed you his ability to reach someone here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I thought that would one night only. That's the song, right?
One night only. Yeah, Jennifer Hudson and Dream Girls.
Just shared video with my brother. We disagree about the music connection. Okay. All right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Again, I just, I said it was a good segue. I think Sammy is the music connection, and you saw how his music career like became a thing. But again, they didn't
And
put
he grew
enough.
up to be Buddy Guy. He grew up to be Buddy Guy. I was like, oh snap, he's now Buddy Guy. No joke. When I saw his guitar, a part of me, it was funny, and it was in the beginning of the movie. When I saw that guitar, I looked. I was like, that looks like Lucille. Are you telling me this dude gonna grow up to be BB King? For a split second, I was thinking like, is this nigga going up to be BB King? And then I was like, and then it faded because then I remember, no, the guitar. They said the guitar belonged to someone else, to another musician. So then that image quickly left my mind. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, because BB King, that's not. I mean, I don't know what BB King's actual name is, but I'm assuming that's a stage name. You know what I mean? But yeah. So I
It could have
you
been.
know,
Well, thank you. Because I know you guys tell the truth. We do. We try. This is a good movie. Like, this is a theater
yeah,
movie. Like, post COVID, we always talk about, like, can you wait for streaming? Is it worth going to the theater? This is a theater movie. This is not an
yes,
IMAX movie. I won't go that far, but this is definitely a theater movie.
right,
Um,
right. Yeah, this
and
one, if you're into like if you are literally about the cinematic genius and the arts or whatever. This one hits it. It doesn't seem like it because it's categorized as a horror movie or whatever, but it truly is.
it's
It
art.
is
It's
art.
art.
It
It's
is art.
art. And
you know.
so
I,
and
Now let me ask you this: would you say this is Ryan Coogler's best film? Think about it. Okay, so he did, was it 2 or 3 Creed? I can't remember. He did 3 Creed movies,
three,
right?
three.
He did
Yes.
3 Creed, 2 Black Panthers, and the
Yes.
Fruitvale Station. So
Yes.
6, and now this. So this is 7. Which one
Yes.
would you say is the best?
This is the best.
You
because
say this was the
because
best?
it's not one. It's always Michael B. Jordan, so he really needs to get beyond that. But no, but this is so far out of any of that, right? Like, he really stepped out into, and a lot of people trying to compare this to a Jordan Peele movie. You know what I'm saying? Because of the modern directors, he
Yeah,
would be the one to do something like this, and this would fit. This would be track his history. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
true.
for Ryan to do this, he's stepping out of that comfort zone
Right.
and doing something different, a period piece, a
Mhm.
vampire piece, again, like a music story, like even the Sinners thing. If they would have, if Sammy was established as the character, right? So you got the preacher father who's like, you're out there playing for the sinners, what I'm saying, you need the Lord in your life. This guitar, is evil. And like it's just a sign of the devil, like something like that, right? Like, drill that home. and then you get to the point where they're in the water and Remick looks like he's baptizing Sammy. You know,
Yes, it was.
like,
Yeah.
and to be like, and then like now you can be born again to us, like to drive that, and like he's quoting scripture, but then Remick quotes scripture, and he's like that stuff was used to oppress my people. You know what I'm saying? Like if then you bring it out to be like, I fought the devil and I'm still me and I'm still doing music, right? Like, and that's the message. Like, there was no need for him to go back to see his dad. It meant nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because and I'm like,
I enjoyed that. Let me tell you why. Because I knew at the night he would go back groveling to his father. So I thought what we saw in the beginning, I thought that was a powerful scene at the end. And then he caught me off guard when all of a sudden he's like riding in that car with this broken guitar next to him. And I was like, oh shit. And I had to think about like, oh wow, that's bars, because then it hit me of like what they were trying to say, was saying like, hey, look, I can do this music, and yes, it's going to attract some people who are not so good people or whatever. But guess what? At the end of the day, I am still me, and I will always be me. And that's why even that post credit scene was important too, because it
oh
showed
yeah,
even with everything he went through, he is still him, and he did not want immortality, even though this evil music that he's doing, right? This that his father said, he's still him. And you know what I mean? He does music that everyone likes, you know what I mean? And it's just, and that kind of spoke to like people in general, and like what you see even in entertainment, and just like what people, you know what I mean? Like, this stuff doesn't define you, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, you know what I mean? And I thought that's why, like, even knowing that Ryan Coogler even wrote this film
yeah,
too,
yeah.
meant a lot too. And I was thinking like, okay, Ryan. That's why I was like, that it wasn't until the post credit scene where I was like, okay, Ryan deserved to be here. And that's in that moment, right before that post credit scene, I was like, Fruitvale Station is still number one. And then I saw that post credit scene as him as like much older, and then I saw, I was like, oh shit, this is actually the true ending. I mean, granted, there was another post credit at the very, very end, but it's a little bit different. Yes, there's something at the end. At the very, very end, it shows him, I guess, I'm assuming it was probably the day or 2 days before he went to the church, right? So it's a younger Sammy, and he's in the church, and it's an empty church, and he's like singing. He's basically like on the guitar playing, basically his dad's song, the daddy song. And that was, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That was at the very, very end. So there was two. So basically, it was two
oh,
post
super
credits.
post. We left after because the lights came on, so we're like, oh,
Right.
this is it. And then
Well,
like
yeah.
they're
I
like,
mean, well, the important one was the first one anyway. You know what I mean? So I mean, but the
uh,
last one was good too, though. But it wasn't. It
so
wasn't
Sammy
as
went
like
back to
hitting
see
as.
his dad because Sammy promised his dad that he would be back. Oh, in the morning for church. We left at 12. Okay, there. Okay.
Yeah, Dave. That's why I disagree with you. That scene, I hear what you're saying. Did he necessarily have to put that scene in there? No, it wasn't necessarily needed, but it enhanced it so much. It did. It truly did. To the fact that now this is now my number one Ryan Coogler film. It beat out
Because of
Fruitvale
that
Station.
scene, I was
Oh
like,
yeah, well, because
no.
it was just attitude. Because I don't know when the last time you saw Fruitvale Station, whatnot, but everything about it was just, it was just a everything about it was just, the beats were perfect in Fruitvale. It was just a normal, typical, like, hey, my girlfriend's acting up, she's tripping, and then all of a sudden it has that crazy ending. You know what I mean, with the cop. And then it was just like kind of abrupt. And I was like, that's good. I was like, that was really good, damn good. And then this happened, and then even like right before the credits roll, I'm just thinking like, okay, all right, he just died, like you said, click up Maximus, like whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool, been there, seen that already. But I have not seen it where it's like 60 years later, not only is he playing still, and he's this legendary thing, but guess what? Stax comes back, with
I mean,
Mary. I was
that
like,
was bars. Like that
that's
was
when I was like, okay, this is Coogler's number one. This is when I
like
was like,
this, like
okay,
that's what I'm
that's my
saying.
shit.
Like that right there was like, I was like, this is the shit. And again, like part two, there was a part, the Vampire Chronicles, like the vampire, and like, I'm hunting
Yeah.
you. I wanted Sammy's story. Anyway, back to if this would have been like Color Purple,
Mhm.
where it's like the blues singer, with the preacher dad who's like, accept me for who I am, and they work it out. Like in the end, he was like, you need this is. And he was like, baby, I get it, right? So if that would have been like a defining moment where Sammy's like, I'm still me. I stood up to evil, what I'm saying? And that's to make me a sinner. Like something to be like, and like I fought the devil and I won at something. And so his dad can respect him and be like, got it. You know what I'm saying? Like to make it something. I'm saying to make it something, because the father was just kind of there staring for the most part. And like he didn't let the thing. So wait a minute. Let's see did he rebuild the guitar, or did Stax bring him did Stax bring him a new one?
No, I think he rebuilt it because he was playing a rebuilt version of it before you saw Stax and Mary. Because remember so it was the first time he's seen Stax in so long. Because remember when Stax came in, he said, how? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So nah, he rebuilt it.
All right.
Somehow. I mean, he became famous and legendary, so he definitely got the money to be able to do it.
Sammy was giving Elroy Preston from Martin.
Yo, let me tell you something about that actor. That young actor, Miles, I forgot the kid's name, whatever. But I saw that this is like his first film that he's ever did.
I heard.
Bro.
Yo, it was.
This is his first film, and do a first film right next to Michael B. Jordan, directed by Ryan Coogler, to be basically like, I don't know. Should we say he starred in this? I guess, or he's a protagonist or whatever.
No, he is the star. Like that's what, that's what makes the movie so great. Like you're so focused on Michael B. Jordan, but really it's Sammy. Yeah. Sammy's the focus of this whole thing. Like he's the reason why the vampire comes. He's the one that wins in the end. Really, he's the only survivor. Really. Right. And it's Stax who comes in to honor him, to be like, again, hey, miss you. You can be part of us or not, whatever. And there's no hard feelings. And even Mary's like, see you around. And I was like, oh, I feel like they should have been a kid and like have a little one. I don't know. I feel like they should just been a family. Like,
but let me go back to praising Miles. Miles, dude, I can't wait to see more from this kid, more from him, right? Oh, and now seeing that Ryan Coogler can tackle horror genre now makes me even more interested, because I was weirded out when I first heard the news about Ryan Coogler dealing with the reboot of this. But now I'm kind of more interested in to see how he deals with X-Files now. So you don't know?
No. I'm not like, let me here. Hold on. They did a time jump, and that's right. Abraham Lincoln, Abraham Vampire.
I remember the book. Okay, Nikki, did you read the book? I did. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. The vampire went to try to save Martin Luther King. Like it was fast forward to "I Have a Dream" speech, and he wanted to turn. It ended with him trying to approach Martin Luther King, and basically saying, because basically Abraham Lincoln basically tries to show that Abraham Lincoln basically faked his death, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Like during the whole theater scene, whatever. He faked his death, and he basically became a vampire. And then essentially they said, hey, well, we need other great leaders out there. And then it says there's one that everyone, I mean, apparently there's a group of people that wants this one guy dead. And then all of a sudden they stand in the front in Washington D.C. and about "I Have a Dream" speech, and they looked at Martin, like as in like Martin Luther King's gonna be the next one that needs to be saved, essentially, by turning him to a vampire, and then that's how it ends. So, was not a fan of the movie though, Nikki. The movie was like
trash.
I thought it was weak. You know what I mean? But the book is amazing. Nikki, read the book.
She said, damn, I gotta go get the book now.
Yes, that was good. Yeah, that was good. And then there was the other one called George Washington, Werewolf Hunter or something like that. I didn't read that one. But
well, thank you. Hall of Fame Productions agreed that it should have showed Sammy giving his dad a speech about facing evil and overcoming it. It just was so especially fathers were such an important thing in this story. For Smoke and Stax to be like, abusive father kind of made us who we are. Oh my God, my dad is your dad's brother, and that kind of thing. Like, and Sam's father's pressure on him, kind of turned him who he was. Like, fathers were very, very a big deal with this, and I just thought that would be a thing. Oh, my bad. Let me get back. Ryan Coogler is an amazing director, and he's a good writer.
You about to talk about X-Files?
Yes, I had to get back to why I was like, he's too close. I do not. I do not need every fucking episode to be like the black man's being oppressed. This is what happened. Aliens came down to Earth and taught the white man what slavery was, and then they create like he will do it. He will do it.
You think so?
Chris.
Every
Black
episode.
Panther.
Maybe the pilot.
Panther.
The pilot. I'll give you the pilot.
No,
the
bro. No, bro. It will be almost every damn episode. Somebody's being oppressed, and in the aliens.
Okay, if he writes it, yes, but you gotta remember the stuff that he did the movies on. Like he mostly wrote himself. For one, you did a movie called Black Panther. Like, how are you not going to talk about that?
No.
And he wrote this. He wrote this one. So I hear you. But if someone's writing it and he's taking on the reboot, he ain't gonna be. I'm hoping he don't go and be like, hey, nah, there's a problem with this. I was like, what? It's like the main character's white. Like, and it's just like
right. Watch. If it's a reboot, not bringing the actors back one last time. If it truly is like the next generation, right? One of them will be black. That's not even a question. Like one of them will be black. And at some point,
that's Hollywood though. I wouldn't blame Ryan on that. Hollywood just done that. We see that with True Detective and everything.
Because they allow directors and writers like Ryan to do it. Because he goes, you want to see your people in representation, and I have no problem with the racist shit. Just be new characters. Don't be Scully and Mulder. Don't be them. Like be new FBI agents. Like do that, right? Make it your own thing, and that's okay. But if Ryan writes it, it's gonna be a lot of oppression in that shit, bro. There's no doubt. He's consistent. He's very consistent, and this is proven. This right here proves what I'm saying. Like
if you think about it, okay, let's be real. Creed, he didn't really focus on too much of the race stuff. He didn't. If you relook at Creed, he didn't focus it on that. Matter of fact, like you see what I'm saying? He didn't. It wasn't a focus on that.
Okay.
He dealt with whole father issues, but that wasn't. It was nothing. So yeah, yeah. He stayed away from Creed. See?
Okay. I'll say okay. I will give a little bit credit to Creed. I feel like he'll try though. I feel like it will be a message. It will be a message.
Now
bro.
I cannot promise that Michael B. Jordan will not be one of the Mulder or Scully. I cannot promise that
for some reason. He will, because I remember like real X-Files, it wasn't even about aliens. Like that was like every 4 or 5 episodes, like the whole really overall alien conspiracy. It was like Supernatural when it first started, saying like Nightmare on Elm Street. No. Friday the 13th, the series, like Grimm, like that kind of low level creature, maybe not stuff. And then like the overarching, alien conspiracy. And then even the later movies fucked that up. I mean, I was like, what are you doing? But I do not want to see a minority version of the same fucking show I just got done watching. Like, give me something new. That's all I'm asking.
I mean, if that's the case, we just have Ryan Coogler just direct to the next season of Lovecraft Country or something.
Right. Like Lovecraft Country was awesome, but even that was like, I was like, I get it. I was like, I get it. I'm black and oppressed. I get it. But it was anyway. That's my only cat. Viola Davis. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you Regina King. Viola Davis would be like the FBI director. Like, but I think at her age, she would be like, not the street person. I think Regina King can pull off street agents. I feel like. But anyway. But yeah, well, let's wrap. I did not see him yet. I haven't seen the trailer. You see the trailer for him?
Him, yes, it looks good. Him, Marlon Wayans and this other kid or whatever. Looks different even for a horror film for him. It's him. It looks interesting. It gives me some Get Out vibes, but not in the way that you think. Marlon Wayans looks like he's the terrifying one in this one, and it's this white boy. It's this young white boy that's the one that's like trying to like be cool. Meanwhile, Marlon Wayans is like, "Do you fucking want this?" And you know what I mean? It's crazy. Yeah, it looks.
I would check it out.
So many questions. I watched the trailer.
Sammy should have went back and sang the blues for his dad about the night and how he rejected the devil himself. Like that would have been like, again, get his dad to accept. It's always the same thing. Like get my dad acceptance and I can move on. Like that would have been awesome. And again, see this movie. Please see this movie if you haven't. All joking aside, this is a great movie to watch.
Yep. I think
And
it's going to be a classic. I can see this being a classic in the future. I see that.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
don't see the new Color Purple. I know that was a while ago, but don't do that to yourself. Like, watch this one. And
Yeah.
you'll be all right. Watch this
Yep.
in Lovecraft Country, and you might snipe a white person. Like, you don't want to, but it's gonna make you do it. It's gonna make it's triggering.
Right.
But that
Right.
being said, and to defend Ryan, this was far less racist than I thought it was gonna be. Like,
Mm.
I was prepared. I was prepared for like cross
I was too.
burning, right? But like the fact that oh boy was telling the story about how his friend got lynched at the at the train station, right? And I was like, shit. But he did creativity. All you had to do was hear it, right? When
Yeah.
like I thought that's flashback. Any other director would have showed you. He's like, no, just listen to the pain, like listen to it, and then you get that he's having a memory, and then you move on. I've never seen it done like that. I've
Mhm.
never seen a director say you're just gonna hear it,
Yeah.
and you still feel. I'm like that was brilliant. That
Good
was
job,
brilliant.
Ryan.
Go pay for it. That's right. Don't see
Yes.
another
Yes.
bootleg.
This is definitely worth the pay. This is definitely worth your money. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot
I
of
can't.
crappy stuff out there. This one is
This
not it.
ain't it.
So,
This ain't it.
yeah.
Thunderbolts. Watch that shit at home. Don't do it to yourself.
Hey, wait a minute. We haven't even seen it yet, man.
No, bro. No. Like
We
it's
haven't even-
gonna be better than
it could be
Suicide
good.
Squad.
It could be
It's
better
gonna be.
than. It could be better
It's
than
gonna be.
Sinners. I'm lying, maybe. Like,
No.
I
It's
don't
like
know.
I'm just. It's again. It's MCU Suicide Squad. You know
No, no,
what?
we'll see. Yeah.
Soundtrack. This is what I'll give you. Soundtrack. That song that they play in the trailer.
Mhm.
Like it's awesome. Like it makes
Yes.
me want to care for these characters, right? Like they're trying to be something and they're gonna do their best and they go out there. But all of them are gonna live because they've already been cast for the next movie. So there's
Yeah.
no danger of any of these people dying, like at all. Like they're gonna be just fine.
Alternate universe. Alternate universe.
That could be.
Oh,
I think,
oh,
but it's gonna be all right.
oh, we'll see.
Thunderbolts. But anyway, we'll review it too. I'm just kidding around. We'll review it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm definitely
we'll.
gonna compare it to both Suicide Squads. And see because
Okay.
yeah, we'll do that. Anything else, Chris? Before we say goodbye.
No, no, no. Like I said, I can't sing more praises for this movie enough. So definitely check it out. If you haven't seen it, watch it in theaters if you can. If not, I mean, if you have to rent it when it eventually comes on, uh, to rent on video, rent it. This is one of the few that I can even say that you can pay for this and not feel like you got cheated. So
Yeah.
it's a long movie, but it doesn't feel long. So it's not it's right at the right temperature and the right moment, and the stellar acting from pretty much everyone in this movie is on it. So yeah, so that's it, man. I mean, but yeah,
Tomorrow.
don't forget. Hmm?
You'll be with us tomorrow for Power and
What time is that?
Godfather of
2 o'clock.
Harlem.
That's at 2.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
what I said. Like
Send
two
me.
or
I
three.
think so. I think
I
you
thought
said
so.
2.
I don't know. Let's look at the thing. I can't remember shit. They got a lot of things
I
going
think,
on.
I
Hold on,
think you said 2.
let me look at Texas. Let me look at Texas. I said, God, I'm blind. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We will just yes. The Power's at
All right.
2 o'clock.
Yep. Yeah. Send me. Yeah. I'll maybe. I mean, still send me the invite. Yeah. I probably. You
Okay.
know. Yeah.
You got
So
things going on.
yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. But as
Yeah.
you were saying, Chris, I'm sorry. Please.
Yeah.
Finish.
No. That was it. No. You guys. Yeah. Check it out. Really great film. I would say, yeah, Ryan Coogler's best film that he's created, and Ryan, you are becoming one of the best directors out there at the moment. So but yeah, till then, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you out soon.
Thanks, Chris. All right, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out with us, Nikki and crew. Truly, it was wonderful. People are joining the channel. Subscribers are going up. Appreciate that. But engagement is important, so we do appreciate that. Tomorrow, we pushed Power Book 3 review to tomorrow, so Kim could make it. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna get on Godfather of Harlem. We're gonna do episodes 1 and 2. 2 should be out tonight at midnight. So we do both of those. So we get backtrack on that. Next week. We should be saying goodbye to Ruthless for Tyler Perry fans. We're only going to be recording on Saturdays. I'm leaving on Sunday. So we got some few things going on. Long term, we're going to do a Dope Thief as a season. We're going to do Mobland as a season. So look out for those two. Daredevil. Chris, read back. Did you watch Daredevil?
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah. Oh shoot, man, we should have done it. We should have watched it this. We should have reviewed it this week. I just realized that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you finish?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna watch the last episode today. So
Okay.
I mean,
okay. Yeah.
What you want to do it tomorrow morning? You got time tomorrow morning?
Yeah. What time tomorrow morning?
You tell me, man. You tell me.
Maybe around 7. No, that's early. That's early.
Hey, come on, bro. So
let's do 7. Let's do 7.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. We'll do Daredevil tomorrow. All right. So we got Daredevil. We'll do tomorrow. You can check that out. Too. Truly, thank you guys very much. Put your comments in the comments. And we will get back to them. See you. I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching us in the chat.
I enjoy the view. I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this. Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You're gonna be like, oh shit.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
You're gonna go there.
Oh shit. Stacey, do your thing. Fuck that shit.
But anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just gonna end this broadcast and say bye.